One of the most overlooked amendments to the Constitution of the United States, especially by those on the political left, but many on the right as well, is the 10th Amendment to our Constitution. And I think it's time that we go back to following that amendment very closely. I have personal convictions on a host of issues. I've shared many of them here with you, with others in my personal life. But I think that at the end of the day, many of the social issues that we have are best decided at the local government. Because states, the forefathers wanted us to have a powerful, a less powerful centralized government and a more powerful state government. Now, the federal government is tasked with keeping the American people safe. They are not tasked with dictating to states exactly what to do. That's the base. Obamacare is illegal and unconstitutional. And Obamacare and its failure have actually helped me to appreciate the 10th Amendment even more. It's helped me realize how President Obama and the liberals in Congress have abandoned the 10th Amendment and how we need to get back on track in this regard. So obviously repealing Obamacare is important. I think that while the federal government does have a role to play in helping people get health care through the tax code, the majority of healthcare decisions should be made on the state and local levels. Now, the federal government should not turn a blind eye, but most of those decisions should go back to the states. And the same goes with a lot of the core social issues that we've been debating for decades. Now, there is a debate, there are debates on a lot of these issues. Let's take abortion, for example. I think it's pretty much indisputable that partial birth abortion is wrong. Morally, it is. It's. I don't want to. I don't want to go off on a tangent about it, but let me just say that it's morally wrong. The federal government needs to protect human life in that regard, because there's no debate that a fetus is a life by the third trimester. The first and second, there can be legitimate debate. Now, some people say life begins at conception. Others have a different view. Disregardless, there is no doubt that in the third trimester, partial birth abortion is wrong. The federal government has a right and should protect human life, and that's why I think the partial birth abortion ban should stand. But I think that other than that, it should return to the state level. And I will just say that I believe that personally, in cases of incest or the mother's life or rape, that abortion should be allowed. But in all other instances, I would have very tough. I can't see an instance where I would support it. But I think that is what I want in my state. I don't think the whole country should have to follow what I believe, because we are a country of free people. So I think that, if a referendum came to my state, I would vote for the pro-life position. But that doesn't mean that I want to impose that belief on everybody. So, and the same goes for gay marriage. I live in a state where we are likely to have a referendum on gay marriage. That's the way it should be. People, or people through their representatives, should decide on a state and local level whether or not gay marriage should be allowed. I don't think the federal government has any business banning or supporting gay marriage. I think they should stay out of it. I will tell you, and I'm going to state this more if it's going to be a referendum, that I believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. I think that is a sacred institution. I think that children are better off with either a single parent or a mom and a dad than they are with a same-sex couple. I don't dislike homosexuals. I believe in domestic partnership rights. I believe in an open to civil unions. But I am not open to same-sex marriage, because I believe that marriage is an institution between a man and a woman. And I think it's something that society has accepted it that way for many years, and I think we should, for thousands of years. And I think we should continue that. But I think that is a decision for people to make at a local level, not a federal level. And the same goes for gun control. I can understand a need for a background check from the federal government. That's it. Period. I don't think the federal government should be banning assault weapons. I don't think the federal government should be taking away people's Second Amendment rights. I think that these are rights that are in the Constitution, but I think fundamentally that how states want to regulate. If states want to regulate that right, that falls under the 10th Amendment. But I don't think the federal government should. It should not be federal policy to do so under the Second Amendment. And there are a lot of other issues like this. We can go to minimum wage. We can go to education. There are a lot of issues. But reinforcing the 10th Amendment to our Constitution is critical. It needs to be made part of the election this year because let me tell you, President Obama has been the biggest threat to the 10th Amendment probably since FDR or probably Lyndon B. Johnson, actually. Every president between Johnson and Obama maybe has had mixed level of respect for the 10th Amendment. But the two Democrats who were president in between that time, Carter and Clinton, both very different people. Obviously, Carter was an incompetent. Clinton was a good president, not a great president. But the point is, they respected the 10th Amendment to a greater degree than President Obama. This is a president who has defied the 10th Amendment on more than one occasion. And I think that we need to reverse course and go back to our constitutional rights.